This will be the day we've waited for. Haha. Anyone get that? Okay. Business Bloomberg. Bloomberg Business says AT&T explores sale of RoosterTeeth online media unit. So they say AT&T is seeking buyers for RT. I think we get the memo. And then they further write that the pandemic has complicated efforts to sell the business. Not surprising if you followed the production for RT in 2020, with multiple shows having some production issues there. And then they go on to say that in June, co-founder Bernie Burns left. He was the chief executive officer, the CEO. We know that. We covered that on the channel. And they go on to say it wasn't clear how much money AT&T is seeking for the business. Now, just a hunch here, but I'm going to assume it's not a lot of money. I don't think they're going to get a lot of money for RoosterTeeth. And it's going to sound a little funny, but I'm serious. I think part of the reason why they didn't try to sell RT sooner was they just didn't care. Like, they know they're not going to get a lot for RT. Let me rephrase in a little less funny of a way. They do care, but it's at like the very bottom of their priority list because, again, they know they're not going to get a lot for RT. For example, we know previously that AT&T, regarding the Crunchyroll sale, it had been mentioned that AT&T has been looking for ways to pay down its debt, which has ballooned to more than $180 billion. $180 billion of debt. And I don't think RT is going to put so much as a scratch into that if they do indeed sell it. Let me raise the point. Going back to Bloomberg, where they say here, even before the pandemic, RoosterTeeth was struggling. Revenue slumped to about $50 million in 2019 from about $70 million a year earlier. That is a hefty falling off, 70 mil to 50 mil. That's about a 25% decrease. And then on top of that, they say down here that AT&T agreed to sell anime creator Crunchyroll to Sony for $1.2 billion last year. We already know that once again, but I'm bringing it up to give you some numbers to compare. So AT&T has around $180 billion of debt. Crunchyroll is a much more successful company than RT, although I think for as long as Crunchyroll has been around, they would want a higher evaluation than that, but I digress. Still much more successful than RT, and they're looking at $1.2 billion, and that might not even go through. RT, you're definitely looking at less than $1 billion. I would say even $500 million would be generous for RoosterTeeth. They're probably going to get far less than that if the sale goes through, because once again, this company is on the downtrend. This is a company that is getting lower and lower revenue year over year. And on top of that, they say today it is best known for the animation series RWBY. Well, all the flaws of RWBY aside, let's say hypothetically RWBY's a great anime. Well, the lifespan of that is still only about 2 years. They said, you get about 10 volumes. It's almost done. But RWBY's not a great show. A lot of people don't like RWBY now anyways, so it's just not a good look. Also, I just called RWBY anime, didn't I? Let me take that back. I mean, you can make an argument that it is, but to me, I'm just going to call it a web series. Or a web show? Whatever, you get the point. Anyways, I want to end the video with a laugh, so let's dial back to Crunchyroll. This is something I've been thinking about for a while, but I never brought to the table. Although, to be fair, I'm sure plenty of people have already thought of this if they followed the news. But it's pretty funny, because on August 24th, we had news. Anime service Crunchyroll introduces new membership tiers. So everyone was laughing at Crunchyroll, memeing on them, because it looked like they were desperate to get more money introducing these new tiers. For example, you can see on screen. And then boom, a mere 2 months later, the news of AT&T trying to sell Crunchyroll came out. Although once again, to be clear, that's currently pending a further Department of Justice probe. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the segment, and I look forward to catching you in the next one.